Mohammed Shafiq, you're someone who's actually taken quite a lot of risks in the past speaking up about this issue. Presumably you welcome Jack Straw's comment.
Well, I think it's important to say tonight that we pay tribute to the bravery of the women and the teenagers who give evidence so that the perpetrators, the evil criminal men are put behind for a very long time. And I think that's very important. But the central issue is this, that it's a sad reality that there are young Pakistani men, 53 in total of which we know, who've been convicted, who've been going around this country, who've been grooming white teenagers under the age of 16 in a horrific way. And I think it takes, it is time for the communities of the United Kingdom to stand up against this. This is not a race issue. It's got nothing to do with Islam. It's got nothing to do with the Muslim community. All it is that people who are born into Muslim households, who are involved in drugs, who are involved in crime, are carrying out these activities.
So when Jack Straw says that there is a sort of pervasive view among many Pakistani Muslim men that young English girls are easy meat and it's an outlet for their testosterone, you think that that's going too far?
Well, I think Jack Straw was very narrow in what he was actually saying. He didn't go into detail of his argument, so I would be reluctant to.
He's quite broad. He's saying that this is a view in that community.
That's my point. He's far too broad.
Well,
but I think it's
so not easy meat. They're not considered to be easy meat.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said that you referred to the Times commentary piece that I also was involved in. What I tried to set out was there is a perception that some of these young men do not see white girls as equal, as valuable, of high moral standing as they see their own daughters and their own sisters. And I think that's wrong. It's a form of racism that's abhorrent in a civilized society, and that's why I've taken the initiative 2 years ago to speak out against this, against, as you said, so personal risks to me and my family. But I did that because I believe it's wrong. For as long as these people are carrying out these crimes, we've got to stand up. It's got nothing to do with race, it's got nothing to do with religion. They should be treated as criminals, and that's it.
Well, Douglas Murray, you've suggested that there was a conspiracy of silence around this issue. You've got Mohammed Shafiq saying that it's abhorrent. You've got Jack Straw speaking up about it. I guess not silent anymore.
Well, I very much hope not, and let's hope that it isn't from tonight onwards. But the fact is, in the past, it very much has been. In 2004, Channel 4 were due to do a documentary, to broadcast a documentary called On the Edge of the City. That also exposed this very story we're talking about tonight. The police asked Channel 4 not to show that documentary because the BNP was starting to talk about what they were boasting that it was going to be a great advert for the BNP. Because of that, all sorts of other people came in and said Channel 4 mustn't show this, they mustn't investigate this. Muslim leaders said they shouldn't be doing this. The fact is we can't sweep things under the carpet in Britain just because we don't like them.
I'd rather talk about 2010 than talk about something that was been going on in 2003. Actually, you should be commending the community. You should be commending me tonight on Newsnight for actually taking a position on this.
Absolutely, and I do commend you for it. I was talking about the background of this, which I think is very important to look at. The fact is this case is very shocking to a lot of people because they didn't know this sort of thing was going on, because there has been a wall of silence around it. And I might just add that there is a demonstration of the seriousness of this problem and the unwillingness of people to attack it, to address it, by the very fact that one of your previous guests refers to the fact that his own stance in speaking out against sex gangs in Britain in 2010 is brave. Okay. It is brave. It shouldn't be. Okay, that demonstrates part of the problem.
It seems to be less brave now, though. I mean, there is a point about trying to talk about today rather than the past. Would you accept that we have become less politically correct, if you like, or at least that we seem to have gone past that to address this issue, to talk about it in these terms?
I'd very much hope so, but I mean, I think you can even hear in the way in which Jack Straw talked about it in your interview, and the way in which any politician, or indeed commentator, will talk about this, that people feel they are treading on eggshells. Modern Britain has all sorts of taboos, unspoken things that people don't want to get involved in case they're accused of all sorts of unpleasant things. And people, for that reason, people are very careful about addressing things like this. And I would hope that people can realise that this is the very beginning of addressing very unpleasant things that are going on. But they have to be more than addressed, they have to be dealt with.
Well, OK, but then what do you think they should actually do? Because this isn't just about political correctness. I mean, your suggestion is that it's actually making it harder to confront a horrific crime that we heard about in that piece. What is the next step from here?
Political correctness obviously makes it hard. It makes it harder for the police.
But what should they do now, if we've got over that?
The thing they do now, among other things, is to do it, as Jack Straw mentioned, for the Pakistani communities of this country, Muslim communities in this country, and other communities, of course it isn't just them, to address this problem among their young men, of the way in which young girls are seen, because that is an endemic problem. It is one that has to be addressed. And I would argue it has to be addressed in the following way. As a Muslim, if I may just say, as a Muslim friend of mine said in Birmingham to me recently, who said to me recently, she had spent all of her life being addressed as a Muslim woman and never as a British woman. Okay. That's the kind of rights we should be talking about.
Mohammed Shafiq.
Well, you know what? I have to say Douglas is showing his true colours once again, suggesting it's endemic. It's not endemic. The vast majority of British Muslims, the vast majority of British Pakistanis find what's going on abhorrent. They find it evil.
Of course, and
the people I speak to on a daily basis have said just that. I mean, you rightly said there needs to be an honest and open debate. That's why I did the piece in the Times. That's why I welcome the national debate that we're having in this country. But I think we've got to be very careful in suggesting that something's endemic or is ingrained in these youngsters from an early age. What's ingrained from an early age is tolerance, respect, and these are basic values. And actually the criminals, and they should be treated like criminals, and not tarnished whole community.
You don't think, Mohammed Shafiq, that there is a cultural issue to be confronted where there's a double standard in the way that men in the Pakistani community, many men think about white girls relative to other Pakistani girls or girls of Pakistani origin?
Stephanie, I've already said that I think there is a perception amongst these criminal gangs. I'm not talking about the majority of the community, I'm talking about these criminal gangs. These people who have been convicted or are involved in grooming feel that the white girls are any less valuable, have less morals than their own daughters and sisters. And I've said that already. It's abhorrent, it's wrong. And we've got to do something about that. And that's why in the next few months I'll be going over to Holland to see what work they've done. They've successfully reduced their grooming amongst young Dutch girls, and see what lessons we can learn. But I honestly believe that this debate was about opening up this issue, opening the taboo topics, and we're having that debate within our Muslim community and the Pakistani community, and I hope that as we move forward to deal with this issue in a structured way, but in a way that respects diversity, respects tolerance, and doesn't throw accusations like Douglas is throwing around that it's endemic.
Okay, I'm afraid we'll have to leave it there, but thank you very much. Thank you to all of you. Thank you.
The People vs. Mohammed went #1 on Amazon and is still on the bestseller lists. At Amazon America, reviewers of The People vs. Mohammed are saying, highly recommended. The book should be required reading. Well done to the author who, in my opinion, is brave and courageous. 5 stars. Stocks are selling so fast, Amazon is continuously restocking their inventory to keep up with demand. J.K. Sheindlin is truly overwhelmed and eternally grateful for the support received. Sadly, the author has, however, received numerous death threats because of its success. But this only shows that Muslims are truly running scared and have realized that their tacky deception tactics are failing. Muhammad was not the perfect human. From what we've been told by numerous subscribers, Muslims are leaving Islam because of this book, although secretly, as apostasy in Islam is certain death. Just go to jksheindlin.com to be taken directly to the book's listing page.
Let him prove it, their religion of peace!